Now, I do believe that there is a brotherhood in the Italian Football Federation that absolutely scripts Serie A on a year-to-year basis. Now, obviously, Roma in Milan and Inter are trying to get new stadiums, and then the city provinces just keep on saying no. Are they Juventus fans? I mean, do they want to say no? So Juventus has a competitive advantage to own its stadium, to own all the revenues that come with it, and therefore yearly dominance and fans tuning in to the league. I mean, Juventus is the lifeline of Italian Serie A because people love Juventus, people hate Juventus. Juventus has had a lot of influence with Serie A over the years. This new stadium, this competitive advantage with operating a stadium allowed Juventus to establish a monopoly over Serie A. Now, I think at around the time of the pandemic is when they're like, hey, this league used to be the best in the world, but now it is a complete joke where Juventus win every single season, where Juventus are on track to win 20 straight Scudettos at that pace. Who would willingly let Pepe Marotta go to Inter? I think there's some conspiracy to establish a real rival in Serie A. It's no mistake that Pepe Marotta was getting a loan deals with options to buy. He was getting players on the free. Um, I think they deliberately wanted Juventus to be good. I mean, why didn't AC Milan get any money for Andrea Pirlo? Why did Napoli sell Gonzalo Higuain to Juventus? Why did Roma sell Milan Pjanic to Juventus? It's like the league wanted Juventus to be a dynasty throughout the 2010s. Throughout the 2010s, they definitely had a plan for Juventus to be good. And I do know that the referees definitely helped Juventus throughout the Scudetto streak. Juve deliberately lose the Scudetto last year with the hiring of Andrea Pirlo. Andrea Pirlo was a cheap option at the heat of a pandemic. Andrea Pirlo, with all of his inexperience, was just not going to win the Scudetto for Juventus. Antonio Conte and Beppe Marotta winning a Scudetto means that Serie A has credibility again. That Juventus are just not going to run away with the title every single year. This is what they wanted out of this. This is what they wanted out of Pepe Marotta going to Inter. So Pepe Marotta and Juventus are not running away with the Scudetto every single year. There's just no way that Juventus would willingly let him go off to Inter. It's like they want this league to be competitive when you're signing TV deals with Disney, with ESPN Plus, and then onto Paramount Plus. You have to get people to watch. You have to get people interested in Italian Serie A. We've seen the goals skyrocket. We've seen penalties. We've seen very exciting match endings. This is absolutely at the time that other leagues are getting big TV contracts. You got to try to be able to buy players that we've seen this happen to Serie A. First was letting Pepe Marotta go from Juventus to Inter. Number two has to do with this year. AC Milan's revitalization, getting the fans interested in AC Milan, bringing people in to AC Milan in 7 Champions League titles. At the time of a pandemic, nonetheless, it's like a renaissance where they stop play, Milan come back, they start winning, and they write the chapter with he coached Inter, Stefano Pioli. He also managed Lazio to number two in Serie A in 2015 to a Coppa Italia final. So Stefano Pioli was a good coach, but then Stefano Pioli was somebody who was going to bring Milan back again. Ronaldo, they wanted him to leave at the end of the transfer window. Now, Juventus still can win the league if it wanted to. They won at the last second of the transfer window, so Juventus start off slow. They got to adjust tactically. Because Juventus win the Scudetto if Ronaldo leaves at the beginning of August. This means that Juventus has 2 to 3 weeks, 4 weeks to get ready to play tactically without Cristiano Ronaldo. It took a lot of time for Juventus to adjust without Cristiano Ronaldo. Obviously, Ronaldo leaving right at the start of the season hurt Juventus. I think this was deliberately planned. I think this was deliberately planned for Juventus to be 10 points back. So they don't win the Scudetto. So AC Milan and Napoli can win it, but they're not going to win the Scudetto. People think they're going to right after renaming the stadium by Daytona, but in the Champions League, they're planning. AC Milan is planning to get knocked out of the Champions League and not even have to play Europa, so it gets all the rest to go win the Scudetto. I mean, look at that. 20 shots by Porto the other day. That was a joke. That was an absolute joke. Even Tonali has said it, where our only objective is the Scudetto. We don't care about the Champions League. We want to finish in 4th place. It was all rigged. Like Inter finished 4th. They don't have to play Europa. They get all this rest. They win the Scudetto. Juventus have to play in the Champions League. Juventus are in the Coppa Italia. Juventus have Andrea Pirlo. Marotta begins his next project. Marotta wins another Scudetto. Serie A is competitive again. Ronaldo leaves too late at the start of the season. Chiellini was right. This allows Milan to be 10 points up on Juventus. If Ronaldo leaves anytime sooner, Juventus are competing for the Scudetto because it has had time to adapt. Serie A was absolutely rigged and scripted in that standpoint that Ronaldo leaving late in the transfer window hurts Juventus. Milan wins the Scudetto. Let's go in order. Inter win the Scudetto. Let's go in order. Marotta leaves Juventus for Inter. Juventus get dominate every year. We've got TV contracts. Marotta builds Inter. Juventus and Inter have a rivalry again. Inter get knocked out in 4th place. They win the Scudetto. Juventus hired Pirlo beforehand, completely over his head. What a joke. Inter win the Scudetto with Andrea Pirlo in charge. Former manager Antonio Conte defeats Juventus. Antonio Conte gets another victory. And now another rival has to win, AC Milan. Inter and Milan win, and then who's going to win the Scudetto? Inter, Milan, Juventus, Napoli, already getting ready for 2022-2023. And already the bets are just not going to be on Juventus. You're going to look at Napoli and Milan win every week, that they got something going, that Juventus are done, that there's a narrative that Juventus are finished. But Juventus are easily back to win the Scudetto next year after Milan win, because the slow start hurt Juventus. Juventus should be challenging for the Scudetto. Already, Juventus have got a result against Milan and Inter. They didn't lose games. Now, here's the last part. Massimiliano Allegri is on the plan to rig the league for Milan. Let's start with the rigged penalty against Empoli. That was a penalty. Paulo Dybala got fouled in the box. This was 1 point. This was not 0. That was rigged. That was offsides. Ronaldo, he was onside. That was Juventus 3, Udinese 2. That was rigged. In the refs, the league is still mad at Juventus for the Super League. The refs have been completely awful against Juventus on the early part of the season, as we saw against Udinese, against Empoli. The refs were a joke. The refs, the league was still mad at Juventus. The 19 other clubs in Liga Serie are mad at Juventus, even though Milan and Inter were on project, but they left the project and they pretend they had nothing to do with it. Obviously, they were losing money too, and they had everything to do with it. A variety of other factors coming together that holds equal significance. Allegri, what is he doing? He's not stupid. You play Chiesa against Inter. He didn't. He should have played Chiesa. You're trying to win the Scudetto. Are you trying to defeat Inter Milan? You're trying to get back into the Scudetto. I think Allegri is in on the script for Milan to win the Scudetto. They were putting in Dybala in the game too late. They were happy with the point against Inter. I don't know what game I was watching. It was awful. It was absolutely awful. It was all rigged for Juventus to not get the 3 points. What were they doing? How do you not start Federico Chiesa in a game like that? That's how I think the manager is in on the fix too, on what the Freemasonic hierarchy wants with Liga Serie A. They want to make this league competitive again. They want to make it great. You don't know who's going to win every single year. They want to make this league as rigged as the Premier League. Inter and Milan win back-to-back. Milan gets one back against Inter. Napoli win the Europa. Juventus win the Champions League when it doesn't win the league without Ronaldo. So Ronaldo is shamed. So Italian football is in a renaissance right after Italy was the epicenter of COVID. Juventus get rid of Ronaldo. They get back to being Juventus. They win the Champions League. They don't care about the league anymore. They're trying to win the Champions League. Roma get Mourinho. I don't know if he's going to win something yet. I haven't determined if it's going to be a Coppa Italia or if it's going to be the UEFA European Conference League. Napoli win the Europa. Milan win the Scudetto. Juventus win the Champions League. After Italy win the Euro, they're back. The Renaissance is here. Juventus beat Chelsea. Juventus beat Manchester United. It's time to give Italian football credibility, especially if I don't like to defeat Manchester United next week with their real team, at least. With they've had Pessina hurt. They've had a few other guys hurt for that. This is a crazy time. You're not trying to win when you put Andrea Pirlo in there. You're not trying to win when you're not trying to dominate forever when Pepe Marotta goes to Inter Milan. You're not trying to win when you don't try to sell Ronaldo as soon as possible so you get ready for the season without Cristiano. Giorgio Chiellini is correct. Now the rigging goes both ways. It goes for Juventus and it goes against Juventus. They rigged it for Juventus during the Scudetto run, but it's all going against Juventus' way for the last couple of years. And I am watching Milan right now. I did get this flannel yesterday. It's black and red. Makes me want to buy a black and white flannel. This is good for the holidays, but it just reminds me of AC Milan. And the store that I went to, they were selling this disgusting black and blue flannel of Inter. My Lord, man, my Lord, I need a black and white flannel so I can represent Juventus. So we're not winning the Scudetto. We're going to win the 4th place this year, Juventus. Think Milan win the Scudetto this year, but then Juventus are back. And who knows if Juventus win consecutive Scudetti, if Juventus Empire is back, or if every other year it's Juventus, every other year it's Milan, every other year it's Inter. I think Serie A is going to be a great league again. I think it makes for good TV and to get a return on investment on the TV contracts. The TV contracts don't want to see weak rivals and no rivalries and no competition. I think in a time of the globalization of football, of calcio, that this league is going to get more competitive. And the access to the TV contracts wasn't there. It allows Juventus to dominate domestically, but I think now there's a new order in the Liga Serie A. The second half is about to start. I did bet AC Milan against Torino. AC Milan are winning. AC Milan will win the Scudetto. There's just no way AC Milan were going to lose against Verona. Down 2-0. You come back and score 3 goals. You have the first match of the year. The second match of the year is the Bologna game. Red card against Bologna. Milan up 2-0. Milan allowed 2 goals. Bologna get a second red card. There's a deflection very high up in the air, and the Milan guy, Benaker, whoever, outside the box. The ball is falling down. He decides to kick the ball, a ricochet right in the goal. And they're doing it without a starting goalkeeper, without Gianluigi Donnarumma. Is the grass going to be greener for Donnarumma? He's already mad that he's not getting any playing time. Donnarumma could be on to Juventus. I don't know after this year or not. Maybe after the end of his contract. Okay, mark on exponential. I will, once again, tell you who my pick is in the next recording. I feel like I've put a lot of content that makes who I have winning the Super Bowl clear, but I will just do it on the next recording. So stay tuned.